Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of Living World Part 2. Now today we are going to study about the taxonomic categories. In the previous session we talked about the diversity of the organism that we are having on our earth. Okay, and also we talked about what are the characteristics, how to know about the organism on the basis of their characteristics. We talked about the classification, we talked about the nomenclature of the organism, how to give a naming to the organism, right? So we talked about the binomial nomenclature that was given by the Carolus Linnaeus, and we also talked about the different the rules that we must follow right, while naming any organisms. Okay, so we talked about the taxa also, and now in this session we are going to talk in a detail about the different taxonomic categories. Okay, so classification is not a single step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each steps represent a rank or a category. Okay, so there is an hierarchy. Hierarchy means there are the, you can say, the order of the taxa that should be at the very lower level, then reaches to the upper level, second level, then third, then fourth, then fifth, then sixth, and then at the highest level, right? So there is an hierarchy of a step that is called as the hierarchy of the steps, and in each steps there is a rank or a category. Means every step is given a rank or a category. Okay, and every category is having its own specific characteristics. So the classification is followed on that way. We just not follow the classification randomly. We must follow the rank or a category. So every organism should have a rank or a category, right? So since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called taxonomic category. Right. So the categorization, we are doing the categorization on the basis of the rank and the category. So that is why the taxonomy is called as taxonomic category. Every range or every rank or a category is given a taxonomic category name, and all the categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. And when you put all the taxonomic category in a hierarchical form, then it is called a taxonomic hierarchy. So two things you must understand: what is taxonomic hierarchy and what is taxonomic category. So again, I'm telling you, the taxonomic category is the rank or the order that you have arranged each and every steps of the process of classification. And every rank or a category is specifically having its own characteristics. Okay, they are having their own arrangement. So that is why it is called a taxonomic category. Each category, okay, very important, each category is referred to as a unit of classification. So species, when you are saying, then it is a having a specific unit of classification. Genus, that is also a specific unit of classification. Okay, then comes the family. So family is also the unit of classification. So it means that each category or each rank is referred to as a unit of classification. Everything is important. Species is also important. Genus is also important. Family, order, rank, class, every step is important, right? So in fact represent a rank, and it is commonly termed as taxon. So every rank is termed as taxon. So species name is a taxon, genus name is again taxon, family is again taxon, okay, class, order, taxon, then phylum is taxon, then kingdom is also a taxon. So every rank is given a taxon, that is termed as a taxon. So the taxonomic categories and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Okay, so here we can take an example to understand what is the taxonomic categories. So insects represent a group of organisms sharing a common features like three pairs of jointed legs. Okay, insects are having the three paired of jointed legs. So insects is a group of an organism, and it is having this particular common characteristic in all the insects. So it means insects are recognizable concrete objects which can be classified, and thus we can give a rank or a category. It means that how you are classifying the insects, how you are identifying the insects, you are identifying the insects on the basis of one characteristic. What is that characteristic? Three paired of jointed legs. One you can say the characteristics, and on this particular characteristics you are able to group an organism by the name insects. So this insect is a rank or a category. It means that every rank or a category must have its own characteristics. Very important. Okay, it means that a species, it must have their own characteristic. Genus, it must have their own characteristics. Family, it will have their own characteristic. So every rank or every taxonomic categories is having their own characteristics. Like we have seen just here, the insect is having three paired of legs. So it means that every insect must have this thing, three paired of legs. So this is a very unique category to the term insect. So the one that is having a particular characteristics and that is used for the classification, then it is termed as a taxon or a category. So we will see here. So can you name other such group of organisms? Remember, the group represents a category. Okay, that particular group must be a category. So category further denotes the rank. Okay, so each rank or a taxon in fact represent a unit of classification. It means that species is a unit of classification. Genus is again the unit of classification. Family is again the unit of classification. So every rank, every taxon is a unit of classification. These taxonomic group or categories are distinct biological entities and are not merely morphological aggregates. So you are just not only looking at the morphological characteristics. Okay, they are the biological entities. They are able to classify the organism. These characteristics are helpful in classification of the organisms, and that is why they are used as a taxonomic groups or categories. Taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to the development of a common categories such as kingdom, phylum, or division for plants, class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay, so we are having the taxonomical studies. Our study is based on the taxonomy, and all known organism, okay, till date, whatever the known organism we are having, that is 1.7 to 1.8 million, and that has led to the development of categories. So many organisms, okay, and we on the basis on their taxonomical studies, on the basis of their taxonomical studies, we have made some categories. What are the names of those categories? The names of those categories are kingdom. So we are having the plant kingdom, we are having the animal kingdom, we are having the phylum name, okay, or division. Phylum term is used for animal classification when you are classifying the animals. So there you are having the phylum. And in the case of plants, okay, in the case of plants, we are having divisions, not the phylum, right? So whenever you write the phylum, okay, be sure that it is used for the animals only, not for the plants. And for the plants, we are using the division. Now, in the same way, we are having the class, we are having the order, family, genus, and species. So all organisms, including those in plants and animals kingdom, have a species as the lowest category. At the last, we are having the species. So species is the lowest category, whereas the kingdom is the highest category. right? So now the question you may ask, how to place an organism in the various categories? So the basic requirement is the knowledge of the characteristic of an individual or a group of organisms. So first of all, you must know the characteristic of individual, group of organism or organism. So knowing the characteristic is very, very important. And this help in identifying similarities and dissimilarities among the animals. So if we are knowing any animals, we can write down the characteristic of it, and we are already having so many divisions or so many phylums which is having their own particular characteristics. So when we got a new organism, we wrote down its characteristic by identifying on the basis of their morphological characteristics, okay, and other characteristics also, biochemical, every characteristic we must follow, and we will note down that, and then we will tally in which particular phylum this is going to be placed, which is the most common type of characteristic with the phylum, and then you can place this organism to that particular phylum. So knowing the characteristic is very, very important, and we can know what are the similar characteristics and what are the dissimilar characteristics. So on the basis of similarity and dissimilarity, you are able to classify the organisms, right? And how you know the similarities and dissimilarities? Just by knowing the characteristics of the organism. Okay, so when you see the organism, you can see, okay, the organism is living in the aquatic environment. So the number one category, because you have find this organism from the sea. So it is living in the aquatic environment. What type of environment? Sea, marine. So like this, you will write down the symmetry, you will write down the body organization. Okay, every characteristic you will write, you will study and you will write. It's not an easy task to know all the characteristics of the one organism which you have just now found and you have not, it has not been reported earlier. So when you see the organism, you will write all the characteristic and then you will match the similar characteristic with the phylum. And there must be some dissimilar characteristic as well. So on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities, you are able to classify the organism. Species. Now we will talk about all the different taxonomic categories. So lowest category, taxonomic category is the species. So taxonomic studies consider a group of individual organisms with the fundamental similarities as a species. Okay. So when you are following the taxonomic studies, a group of individuals with the fundamental similarities. There must be some fundamental similarities. If they are having those fundamental similarities, then they are considered as one species. One should be able to distinguish one species from the other closely related species based on the distinct morphological differences. There must be some distinct morphological differences, right? So you know what are those morphological differences. And if there is no morphological differences, then there must be one species only, right? Let us consider Mangifera indica, Solanum tuberosum, and Panthera leo. Okay, so Mangifera indica means mango, Solanum tuberosum means that is potato, and Panthera leo means lion. So all the three names, indica, tuberosum, and leo, represent the specific epithet, the second name. Okay, in Mangifera indica, the second name is indica, Solanum tuberosum, the second name is tuberosum, and the Panthera leo, the second name is leo. So all these, all the three scientific name, the second, okay, the second name is denoting the specific epithet, while the first one, that is the Mangifera, Solanum, Panthera, are the generic name or the genera. Okay, and all represent another higher level of taxon or a category. So the genera is the another, or you can say the higher level of category from the species. Okay, so Mangifera indica, you know, the mango is so much different from the potato plant. Both are plants, but anyone can tell the difference between them, right? And you can tell the difference between the loin and this potato plant or the mango plant. One is animal and these two are plants. And in the plants also, both are different, right? So each genus may have one or more than one specific epithets representing the different organism but having the morphological similarities, right? So there must be one genus which could have different species, okay? Different species, but they must have some morphological similarities. So morphological similarities is because of their same genus. Their genus is same, so they are having the morphological similarities. For example, Panthera has another specific epithet called tigris, and solenum include the nigrum and melanogena. Okay, so human being belong to the species sapiens, which is grouped into the genus Homo. Our scientific name is Homo sapiens. So sapiens is the specific epithet, and Homo is the right. Homo is the genus name. So the scientific name, thus, for the human being is the Homo sapiens. Next taxonomic category is the genus. So genus comprises a group of related species which has more characters in common in comparison to the species of other genera. And we can say that genera are aggregates of the closely related species. So some of the closely related species, they are having the same genera. Panthera leo and Panthera tigris. So Panthera, okay, Panthera is a common genus in Tigris and Leo. So Leo and Tigris, these two species are very closely related. Okay, tiger and lion are very closely related. So we can say that genera are aggregates of the closely related species. Panther and tiger. Leo, lion. Genus. For example, potato and brinjal are the two different species, but both belong to the genus Solenum. You can know this. Potato is so much different from the this brinjal plant, right? Now you can see the lion, Panthera leo, leopard, Panthera pardus, and Panthera tigris. Okay, but all the three is having the same genus, Panthera. In pardus also, the genus is Panthera, leopard for this Panthera. For tiger also, the genus is Panthera, with several common features or all species of the genus. So on the species basis, they are having the different characteristics, but on the genus level, they are having some common features. They are having some common characteristics. So I've already told you that every taxonomic categories will have their own characteristics. At the species level, they will have their own characteristic. At the genus level, they will have their own characteristics. So at the genus level here, the lion, the leopard, the tiger are all having the same characteristics. This genus differ from another genus, Felis, which include the cats. Now here, we are having one more genus, Felis, and this Panthera and Felis cats, they are very related. Okay, the cat look like the tiger, but they are very small size. Okay, but they are closely related still. Okay, so at the family, at the basis of the family, they are closely related, but at the level of genus, they are not closely related. Okay. Family. The next category, family has a group of related genera. So the related genera are kept in one family with still less number of similarities as compared to the genus and species. But one thing is you must note down, when you see at the species level, the number of similarities is more. When you move to the genus level, the number of similarities is less. And when you move to the family level, the number of similarities is even less than the genus and species. So as you move up, the similarities between the organism goes lesser and lesser. Right? So families are characterized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive features of the plant species. Okay. So here what we are considering at the level of the family, vegetative characteristic as well as the reproductive characteristics. Now among the plant, for example, three different genera, Solanum, Petunia and Dhadura. Okay, they are all kept in one particular family that is called as Solanaceae. So it belongs to Solanaceae. Your Solanum tuberosum, Petunia plant and Dhadura plants all belong to the family Solanaceae. So at the level of the family, they are having some common characteristic, but the level of species, they are not having the common characteristics. But at the level of genus, they are not having the common characteristic. But at the level of Solanaceae, okay, because they are having the different, you can say the species, but the family is same. So at the level of family, there must be some common characteristics or similarity, you can say. Among the animals, the Panthera, comprising lion, tiger, leopard, is put along with the genus Felis in the family Felidae. So at the level of genus, the Panthera and Felis, they are dissimilar. Okay. So they are not showing the similar characteristics, but yes, they are kept in one particular family that is called as Felidae. So at the level of family, they are having the common characteristics. Okay. They are having the common characteristics. Similarly, if you observe the feature of a cat and a dog, you will find some similarities and some differences as well. Okay, cats and dogs are having some similarity and some differences. So they are represented into two different families. Okay, the cat is having another family and the dog is having another family, Felidae and Canidae. Okay. Order. Now, you have seen earlier that categories like species, genus, and families are based on their number of similar characters. Now, generally, the order or the other higher taxonomic categories are identified based on their aggregates of the character. Okay, similar characters, and here the aggregates of the characters. So the species, genus, and families are based on their number of characters. Okay, similar characters, whereas the taxonomic categories that is above the family, okay, like order, they are based on the aggregates of the characteristics. So order being higher category, it is the assemblage of the family. So many families comes under one order. Okay, it is the assemblage. So here, this is the assemblage of the families. That is why it is called as aggregates of the character, which exhibit a few similar characteristics. So families are having the similar characteristics, right? So that characteristics is called as aggregates of characteristics, and that is placed in the order. The similar characters are less in number as compared to the different genera, including in a family. So here at we see in the level of order, they are having very less number. Characteristics are less as compared to the lower level of the classification categories. Plant families like Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae are included in order polynomials. So this polynomials will have some common characteristics, mainly based on the floral characteristics. So here they are having the floral characteristics. Okay, Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae both are kept in one particular order that is called as polynomials. The animal order Carnivora includes families like Felidae and Canidae. Okay, Carnivora, it is included in the family like Felidae and Canidae. Okay. Next is the class. This category includes a related order. Okay. So order, many different orders comes under one particular class. So this category includes the related order. For example, order Primata, comprising monkey, gorilla, gibbon, and is placed in class Mammalia along with the order Carnivora that includes animal like tiger, cats, and dogs. Okay, so order Primata. It what are the organisms that belongs to the order Primata? They are including the monkey, gorilla, and gibbon. Okay, and these organisms are placed in which class? Mammalia. Okay, so class Mammalia, and this along with the order Carnivora. So there is a Primata, there is an order Carnivora that includes animal like tiger, cats, and dogs. So two orders, Primata and Carnivora. The class Mammalia has other order also, right? They are also having some other orders. Okay. Now comes the phylum. So class comprising animals like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, along with mammals constitute the next higher category that is called as the phylum. So I've already told you in the animal classification we use the term phylum. Okay, so class comprising like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, along with the mammals, they all comes in one particular phylum. That is the chordata. Huh? All these based on their common features like presence of notochord. So fishes are having notochord. Amphibians are also having notochord. Reptiles, birds, and mammals all are having the notochord and also the dorsal neural system. This is one of the very common characteristics for the phylum Chordata. So all these class, okay, all these class fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, they are having the presence of notochord and dorsal hollow neural systems. So all these classes are kept in one particular phylum that is called as chordata. Okay. So in case of plants, classes with a few similar characters are assigned to a higher category called division. Okay, now moving to the next higher category. In case of plants, the classes with a few similar characteristics. So I've already told you at the lower level, the number of characteristics, similar characteristics are more. But as you move to the higher categories, taxonomic categories, the number of the similar characteristic will decrease. So with a few similar characters, that is why it is written here. In case of plant, the classes with few similar characteristics are assigned to a higher category that is called as division. Next, taxonomic category is the kingdom. So all animals belonging to the various phyla are assigned to the highest category that is called as kingdom Animalia. Okay. All the animals that are belonging to the various phyla, okay, they are assigned to the highest category and that is called as kingdom Animalia in the classification system of animals. The kingdom Plantae, on the other hand, is distinct and comprises all the plants from the various divisions. Henceforth, we will refer to these two groups as the animal and the plant group. So they are having two different groups, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Okay. Okay, so here you can see the hierarchy. These are the broad categories. Okay, these are the broad categories. However, the taxonomists have also developed some subcategories in this hierarchy to facilitate more sound scientific placement of the various taxa. It's going to be very helpful, right? So, but if you see these broad categories, then at this lowest category, you are having the species, moving to the genus, then family, order, class, phylum or division. Phylum in the case of animals, and division in the case of plants. And the most highest category is the kingdom. But you must note down that as species, they are having the more similarities. But as you move to the higher categories, the similar characteristics decreases. Okay, there are less similar characteristics as you move to the higher taxonomic categories. So can you recall the basis of arrangement? Say for example, we go higher from species to the kingdom. Okay, the number of common characteristics goes on decreasing. That's why I was saying this. The similar characteristic or the common characteristics will goes on decrease as you move from species to the towards the kingdom. Kingdom. Lower the taxa, more are the characteristics that the members within the taxon share. Okay, so lower the taxa. If the taxa is lower, more are the characteristics that the member with the taxon share. So they are having the more common characteristics. Higher the category, greater is the difficulty to determining the relationship to the other taxa at the same level. Okay, it is very difficult to create a like relationship between the animals and the plants, right? So hence the problem of classification become more and more complex. Okay, so with this we have completed the taxonomic categories. Okay, so thank you very much for attending today's session. We will meet with one more session. Till then, thank you very much.